1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love. But perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. The verse 1 John 4:18 is a powerful statement about the nature of love and its relationship with fear. It says, "There is no fear in love. But perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love." This verse is often quoted as a reminder that love and fear cannot coexist, and that when we are truly loved, we have nothing to fear. To fully understand the context of this verse, we need to look at the larger passage in which it appears. In 1 John 4, the author is writing to a community of believers who are facing challenges and false teachings. The author is urging them to test the spirits, to discern what is true and what is false. The author is also reminding them of the importance of love, both in their relationship with God and in their relationships with one another. The passage leading up to verse 18 says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does this not know God, because God is love." This sets the stage for the idea that love is not just an emotion or a feeling, but a fundamental part of who God is. The author goes on to say, "This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins." Here, the author is pointing to the ultimate act of love, which is God sending Jesus to die for our sins. This is the perfect expression of love, and it is through this love that we can have confidence and assurance. Then, in verse 16, the author makes a bold statement, "God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them." This is a powerful reminder that when we love, we are participating in the very nature of God. We are reflecting the love that God has for us, and we are living in communion with him. So, when we come to verse 18, we see that it is a natural extension of this idea. If God is love, and we are called to live in love, then there can be no room for fear. Fear is a product of punishment, and if we are truly loved by God, we have nothing to fear. The perfect love that God has for us drives out all fear, because we know that we are loved and accepted by him. The last part of the verse is perhaps the most challenging. "The one who fears is not made perfect in love." This is a reminder that fear can be a barrier to experiencing the fullness of God's love. When we are afraid, we are not fully trusting in God's love and provision. We are not living in the confidence and assurance that comes from being loved by him. Instead, we are focused on our own fears and concerns. In conclusion, 1 John 4:18 is a powerful statement about the relationship between love and fear. It reminds us that when we are loved by God, we have nothing to fear. The perfect love that God has for us drives out all fear, and when we are living in love, we are participating in the very nature of God. May we always remember the power of God's love and the assurance it brings. Now, find a comfortable place and sit comfortably. Let's close our eyes. Focus on the breathing in and out. And take time to think about today's learning. Reflecting on today's learning. I think about how I was in the past, and what I will be like in the future. Now, you will live the rest of today and tomorrow with a slightly better than yesterday. We will always support you from behind the scenes. Have an amazing day.